Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Lego DC Supervillains. Let's continue. So, what were we doing? Like, I've literally just slept, so it's been like 8 to 12 hours since the last playing, and I still don't quite remember what I was supposed to do. Let's see if we can get a general idea. Like, we only have like 3 more levels in the main story, it seems like. Apocalypse had thrown a fake fight to make the Justice Syndicate more popular, so they can look for the anti-life equation. We've got Solomon Grundy and Reverse Flash, but I literally don't know what we were going to. So, I mean, really, this is just gonna push us. I think we were supposed to go probably to like this location, and I bet this is how you get back to the Apocalypse. So it might be a case that we get some more transitional areas that take us to other areas. Oh, okay, so we're going, I guess, here to the Hall of Justice. Which, okay. Let's see how fast we can really run. It does kind of feel like the Reverse Flash, if you push forward, gains a little bit of momentum. But again, this really is going to smack right against the idea of using a car. And it feels like it all of a sudden just really slowed down there. And I would have to also say the controls are not super tight on a controller. And this is definitely more of a controller game. And notice how the green studs here just did not load. So it almost makes sense for the Flash to lock into these green lines and just run through them even faster. But yeah, he's just not... It's too easy to tweak one direction versus the other. And you still don't feel particularly fast when you're running like this compared to being in the Speed Force, which feels a little bit faster. And just running around the open world does seem like it creates a situation where you will collect studs. And I imagine these studs will just respawn. I also assume that the proper way to do that would have been to use the tramway, which I feel like there's an achievement for that. Interesting that you have a phone booth, Lego phone booth, and Lego plants. Apparently I just accomplished a telephone terror. And we can purchase red bricks that we've unlocked. Inherently, I guess this probably shows why a Flash game doesn't make the most sense, and why we've never even had a successful attempt at a Flash game, let alone a successful Flash game, is that he just moves too fast. If you were going to have like a Speedsters type game, it would probably be better if it was a racing game of some sort. This doesn't really feel like the Justice League Hall of Justice intro that was in Lego Batman 3. It feels very different, and doesn't quite fit or feel correct compared to some of the other games. We've got a lot of Batman signals.
Do you think the statues wake up?
Statues waking up at night. I wonder if that has something to do with some DC comic that I just don't recognize. Yeah, it is just not a very impressive front facade. You don't really get a good look at it. Maybe you get a better look at it if you ride the monorail. But ideally, you would want this front facade. I guess this is a slideways portal. They could take us to, I assume, the watchtower. But yeah, you'd want to be able to look out from any point in Metropolis and see the Hall of Justice and see it as a big, interesting design. And you have this like display. Let's see, how do we get photo mode? That way. It's like a just collection of things. A batarang and an emerald ring and a statue.
For next year, it should be 2.1.
One second. Sorry about that. I thought I had silenced my phone,
I'm
and
unable to use this. Something
then
else
it
I
started
need to erase
playing,
from existence
auto-playing.
by chance.
Here's a great example of just like the exact same character. And LEGO games never really got good at that, where it would stop loading the same characters in the same area. Even if it was just better programmed to not have duplicates and twins, and then there would just be fewer people in general. Like, it is just ridiculous to have the exact same people walking back and forth, when obviously you can have at least 2 different skins loaded in an area, probably much more than 2. So it would be fairly easy to say, hey, once we've used this skin, don't use it again, or at least cycle around so that it's not so obvious. Probably just don't use it again. And that's certainly something that I bet a better engine could handle a lot better, as far as just allocating RAM and video RAM. Guess we'll just start the story. There's no reason to delay this too much. And I guess with starting the story, we'll get a reminder of what we're doing.
Where on earth have you been? On another planet? It's just a phrase, Clark. Are you okay? Are you sick? Why do I sound worried? Because you've been off work and there are suspicious heroes flying around and an alien planet in the sky that's home to a villain who wants to conquer Earth. That's why. Superman told you I need to meet him where? Where is he? Oh, okay. Clark is back for 5 minutes and he's got us a scoop already. Let's go.
That was Clark? Where's he been?
Something about dinosaurs on an island. I think he's still got a fever or he's been watching too many movies. Let's go.
So the visual callback gag there of Jimmy not paying
We should have set
attention
up
and
here in the first place.
I know, right?
We're close now.
and having a pet alligator. Who's this lady?
Commissioner Gordon. Always a pleasure. What's up now?
Is that Miss Marvel?
Justice League. They're back. And like you said on TV, they've gone bad.
But wait, no, Miss Marvel would be
Now's not a
Marvel.
good time. I'll send my team out right away.
Snap! Thief!
Somebody do something!
What's he doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know who that character
let's
is.
end
Shrink.
this in a
She can
flash.
obviously
I
shrink.
got the boss's anti-life equation.
Johnny?
Atomica.
So, are you going to come quietly?
Nope. No, I don't think so. I'm an ice cream stealing bad person.
I'll stop the evildoer.
So I guess Atomica
Mind if I join in?
maybe
Come
we're.
back. There's only room for one speedster around here.
I'm not pushing any
That's
buttons
me.
at the moment.
Yeah, you tell him, Johnny.
Hold
Okay.
on tight, little lady. This could be a
So I
bumpy
guess we're
ride.
supposed to
Johnny Quick Guy is
dodge.
He genuinely seems to be as fast as we are.
See about that.
I can press X and that does nothing. I can jump. B does nothing. X seems to just slide.
I had no idea the heroes on this earth were so slow. Go get them, Atomica.
My pleasure, Johnny. Oh, I'm sorry. Am
So,
I distracting you?
I guess the idea here is this is all just going to be quick time events mostly. And we're going to switch out our visions. And it feels just like really obvious here as to why
You can't get away from us.
you would need a different system and a completely different game here.
Give it up.
Are we going in circles in a loop?
You can't run
Probably. And we were trying to find like
You call
collectibles
this a race?
and jumps. And you're moving forward even if you accidentally smash into things. But yeah, you can definitely see how this whole system just doesn't work. I guess the general idea is to avoid things and probably hit the ramps.
Now I got you.
It seems like
Let's be
eventually you just
reasonable
win
here.
no matter what.
How about I give you your old job back?
Too late for that now.
So I guess
Tell me
Atomica
what
was
you're up
just
to.
You're a good guy.
in the other cutscenes and I didn't see her. Or maybe they didn't even bother to animate her or
I've never
add
seen
her.
it like this.
Oh, don't tell him, Johnny.
Tell me.
Listen, we're just a bunch of crooks working for Darkseid. He wanted us to find something.
Something.
A mother box.
A what now?
He told us if we found it, we could have your planet.
You blabbermouth.
I thought Darkseid was looking for the anti-life equation.
It's in the mother box.
Ugh, stop talking.
Did you get all that?
Every word.
Oh no.
And she's just holding the mother box and she doesn't know what it
Sorry,
is.
everyone. Flash didn't play fair. I panicked.
And obviously here, if you don't know what a mother box looks like or you're not familiar with Darkseid,
Shouldn't we get out of here?
then you would not have really seen this coming, but I guess if you were familiar, you would have seen it coming far too early. The generally thinking though,
takes me out of a
I would say Ultraman probably is as dangerous as Superman, and Superman potentially could take out the entirety of the rest of the superheroes on Earth if he really wanted to. Maybe Batman would have some kryptonite, or Lex would have some kryptonite to stop him, but otherwise, most of the other characters are inherently weaker than Superman. So now we're playing as Deathstroke, I believe, which he's a very late addition as far as the villains,
Shattering people's expectations.
having both a sword and a gun. It feels like there's a window here, and yet I'm able to, with my long gun, shoot through the window. Which that shouldn't be the case. And we've got Livewire, and I forget who that character even is. Cheetah here can climb up higher. If anything, this game is trying to stick a lot more than some of the other LEGO games to the original vision of switching between minifigs to get different abilities. That being said, in the original Star Wars games, you would switch between like Jedis and droids and maybe some Siths or some other characters, maybe, but it really was that there was only like 4 or 5 categories or 4 or 5 abilities that you would switch between, which would mean you'd only switch between 4 or 5 people. Now you have, in a regular story mode, a story that wants us to switch quite a lot more between 4 characters just to start with. This is Mirror Master, come to think of it. Okay. Now we need to use Livewire to go through the Mirror Master portal so that we can then jump in here and do this side game, which Livewire is just this ball of lightning in the top right, which is weird that she would have a different appearance. And it doesn't seem like she can get hit by lightning at all and hurt by it, which I think pretty much proves that she's the character to play as. Like in a normal story mode in an older LEGO game, you definitely would have only 2 characters you're switching between, and the puzzles would be simpler, and it would all kind of just make a lot more sense. Do I have a laser ability on any of those characters? I'm going to assume the answer to that is no. I have no idea what we're doing. I also have to point that out. Like, seems like we're releasing maybe Hal Jordan. That might make some sense. Alright. I don't know how we're gonna move this around. I think I probably screwed up a little bit here. And so we may be actually somewhat required to solve this puzzle in a different order. And I think the game is trying to tell me the right moves, and I'm maybe just ignoring it. See, it's like solving it for me. Or trying to solve it for me. I see what we've done wrong here. That being said, that took a lot of time. Yeah, we started to activate this Green Lantern statue.
Crusader could use our help against his evil owl twin.
Solomon Grundy know what to do.
Oh, is that right, Grundy? This I'd like to see.
So what would be funny is if this leads to us effectively jumping to Solomon Grundy as a character, and then all of a sudden we wouldn't have even needed to lower elevator, or lower the statue to get to the ladder, I guess is what it really was, not an elevator. And so Batman and Owlman are fighting up there in a just animated sequence. And we're going to eventually help Batman. So all the supervillains are going to eventually, I think, just end up helping all the superheroes. But this level, just judging by the number of studs we have, looks like there isn't going to be that much here to do. So when we get to playing these levels in free play mode, you're going to have stud multipliers that are going to... There's Superman and Ultraman fighting on the screen. Yeah, you're going to get stud multipliers that immediately get you the true villain requirement. Let's see. So that blows that up. And that got us a character. Now I do see something glowing up here that break. If you could get up there. But I don't see how you could get up there. Yeah. We'll just... I have to check to see if Livewire has the ability to spray this. We may just not have anybody with a spray bottle ability, which I would kind of make sense. So they added Solomon Grundy as a big character just to smash this, just so there's once again one extra character. Let's see where this leads. Okay. And it seems like you get different options. Let me ask this. When she walks in water, does she get electrocuted? No. So we have Solomon Grundy's assisted lift. And that will fling Livewire up to do the slow motion section. Which now we have Wonder Woman, and I don't know what the other Wonder Woman's name even is. But now it's unlocked some more stuff for us to do. As far as the scan mode. I don't like that the colors stay consistently like that. They could have popped up like that for a second. Then we're back to Livewire. And yeah. I'm probably going to do a little bit more because I would suspect they would give us a little bit more of a reason to collect some more studs. We still have to fight Darkseid after all of this, I would assume. So that's going to probably be another level. Now, there's a whole collection of other characters that are consistently fighting Darkseid from a different planet that is always at war with Apocalypse. Their Cheetah just helped Wonder Woman, which is more poetic than, say,
I've had better days.
Livewire
You won't
helping
have to worry about having
Batman
bad
because
days.
Cheetah
Once
is
I'm
basically Wonder Woman's
man of
number.
steel, or any good ones for that matter.
We could have an ice breath,
You'll never win.
That's
but
what you think. In short time, your fate will be sealed, Superman.
like if I hold B,
You think you stand a chance
it'll
against
go
the
ice
Crime
breath.
Syndicate?
Seems like you just have to punch him though. If you hold B, it's ice breath. If you tap B, it's scan. If you tap B, then hold, it's laser. It's too many button inputs by far. And we are effectively just in an arena, even though it's not circular. So I think I just have to fight this and we'll get the dialogue as we're fighting.
Prepare to fall in the hands of the Crime Syndicate. Will take this world by force if we have to. That's it! My patience for you has run out! Look! Up in the sky! Ha! Made you look!
That was funny.
I don't understand!
And you can't play as any of the supervillains, so Superman has to beat Ultraman, which is the only thing that would really make sense.
Go get the treadmill from Star Labs.
Weirdly, Captain Atom is not even showing up.
It needs more power.
So why not have Captain Atom show up and fight Atomica?
Send them home.
And our no-name character.
You don't understand! There's only 4 shopping channels! Life is terrible. It's over? Oh, thank goodness!
The Green Lantern character didn't even show up.
You did it! Huh? Foxy? Hey! What you doing, rookie?
You don't think that's what the Crime Syndicate was looking for? The mother box Johnny Quick mentioned?
I thought they were looking for the anti-life convention. Anti-life equation.
Foxy! What did you do to my Foxy?
If that was a mother box, I think the rookie here just absorbed all of its energy.
So, what does that mean?
It means that now we have the power.
Or the rookie has the power. They think it's all over. So now the anti-life equation could potentially be inside the rookie. And we're done with the Justice Syndicate. They really did not deal with that well. Like, for as weird as the first couple levels are, they rushed to get rid of the Justice Syndicate all in one level, when it would have made a lot more sense to fight each of the characters throughout the entire story and get rid of them one by one. Yeah, and they must have just added Atomica as a character later, because otherwise we would see the Atom. I guess we do have the Atom, I just completely forgot him. I guess he's just not that memorable of a character. And Wonder Woman is called Superwoman, and thus Superman is called Ultraman to one-up Superwoman. And that was again only 30 minutes, so...
So that wraps it up for the Crime Syndicate. Thanks to the return of the Justice League and a little help from their friends. I'm Clark Kent, and it's great to be back. Lois?
Pathetic.
Thanks, Mark. So Batman, the dark side problem?
For now, is nothing to worry about. This is what the Crime Syndicate was after. We're not sure what it is, so we'll be passing it to Wayne Tech for analysis.
The fools. They have given away the location of what I seek. The last piece of the anti-life equation, and it will be mine. Steppenwolf.
There's a lot of debate as to whether it's supposed to be Stephen Wolf or Steppenwolf. I guess Steppenwolf is official according to the Lego game. It's really late in the game to introduce yet another character, though.
You never let me drive that, but it is good to have you back.
You sure about this?
Just see if you can find something at LexCorp to send that back to where it came from.
Slapstick
go,
comedy.
We'll need to
Honestly,
return this back to
that's
where it was
probably
stolen
what
from
Lego
and
games
conduct some
needed
further
more
tests.
of.
You mean Wayne Tower, right? You think a little box thing like that could really be so important to everything that's going on?
I'm counting on it.
It's weird for them to just introduce Robin back into the story just because you need two players and you need two different cars, and then he immediately jumps out of the car. Let's see what I actually would like to do before we do anything here.
Money talks here in the big city. And
It's like, yeah, the Atom must have just come and gone in the story, like so many other characters, such as Black Adam, too. Like, they made a whole big deal about recruiting him, and he's now completely missing from the story when he should have been fighting Shazam, and we haven't seen Shazam show up. Well, we did see Shazam, and then he disappeared. It's far too many characters, really. Not enough levels, too many characters. You can definitely see how the way these games are developed, even though TT Games is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, which is now like a subsidiary, I believe, of AT&T, they still like have to promise their self-publishing division certain things, and so promising an open world, or higher-ups demanding open worlds, demanding higher numbers of characters and minifigs, really led to them prioritizing having an open world versus just having good levels, because quality is something that's a lot more difficult to quantify, or almost impossible to quantify. So a bad number of levels that are really short still on paper fulfills the contract, whereas as far as game players, I would easily get rid of the open world section at this point and have a better storyline experience. Now, who knows, maybe the open world makes up for it later on here, but we're also seeing some bugginess that we have to point out also, such as the trail studs here really failing to work when you go vertically one way or the other.
Sure, I'll come to your party, alright?
And the whole GTA aspect while you're playing as a hero like Batman doesn't make a lot of sense. Still crashing a lot, still not really finding a lot of fun to be had. And it's just showing you something there without actually telling you anything. So there might be a lot of these Batman trigger switches. And that's going to open another door, move the story forward, and we're going to just do another story because 30 minutes is too short. Here we see Jimmy screwing up the audio once again.
We knew it, Jimmy. Our sleuthing paid off, and
This
those
is really
Syndicate
terrible.
bozos are gone for good.
There was the League of Assassin
finally served.
turkey.
Yeah. With the League back
Chicken.
in action, it won't be long until Darkseid and his planet are sent back across the universe too. We know what he's after.
It's so
now
crazy
it's
that
just
they're
a matter of
now
time.
introducing
But
slapstick
isn't he way more powerful than the crime
when
syndicate?
that really should have
Batman
been
doesn't
throughout
seem to
the
be
entire
too fazed by the
game.
idea of fighting this guy, and he's not even got any superpowers.
And it
Don't
definitely
tell him I said that.
it would be kind of weird if, say, the Joker was slapping around Harley Quinn and doing slapstick that way.
There you are.
And so now we're calling the League of Assassins and the
Now they're
Furies
distracted. Let's get you to
from
safety.
Thanagar. That was a lot of people attacking him, and it still wasn't good.
You have it.
So now they're just gonna kidnap
Get inside.
our rookie custom character. While it is cool to be able to make a custom character and have them follow you along through a lot of the story, it's not the whole story.
Who
And
invited this little pipsqueak along?
honestly, it
Whoa,
wouldn't.
what was that? Pretty convenient timing for an elevator to jam.
We need to get out of here now.
This isn't a
Maybe our
weird
new
camera.
friend has powers that'll help.
Like, it would have made a lot more sense for it just to be Harley Quinn. Or you could have picked a different character, certainly. They could absorb powers. Even tried to make a new character that would maybe show up in the comics later on. Like, so we're gonna use our telekinesis. And then we're gonna shrink through here. And then that's going to move us around. And unless we can go invisible, we won't be able to get through that door. Twice now I've fallen to my death. So yeah, it seems like you should be able to get up on this ledge, but it wants you to slide off. And then you should be able to jump here. And yet, that took a lot more work than it probably should have. We need Robin. So the only thing I could assume is with our custom character, we're probably going to end up sacrificing our lives somehow, and maybe getting even a statue in the open world. But that seems not particularly kid-friendly.
Nobody can match the fighting skills of Deathstroke determined. Of course I can deal with this.
Hey, what kids? You guys aren't ditching us, are you?
Nah, just dealing with some unexpected visitors.
Okay. Deathstroke can go invisible to get to a higher elevator. This is not a bad level for an elevator, but it is kind of surprising that it's probably going to be the only elevator level in the whole game, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be connecting to much of anything else. We are technically not in a level. Again, we're just going up Wayne Tower. So at this rate, actually, when we get to the point where we will start a new level, I'll end the episode, because we've gone long enough now, just between this open world instance, that I suspect you'll never be able to use that again, or do this again without starting a new save file.
Split again. We can't risk losing our superpowered buddy here.
Actually, it looked like our friend held things together pretty well back there.
Oh, great. More trouble dead ahead. Think we can take him?
Of course I can. Let's go.
Yeah, we got this.
How bad does a situation have to be for me to start sounding like the responsible one?
I guess we are in a level. Wait. Felt like we weren't, but I guess we just hadn't collected enough studs to start to fill in the true supervillain. So I guess this is going to be a longer level. And now we have a parademon-like fire sequence, which could be something interesting.
Use this? I'm good, but everyone has their limits.
Is this a section we've been to before? No. It just seems somewhat similar. There's little statues and textures and designs that obviously would have to be reused in any game, but they're a little too similar. The thing is, this game screams ambition to such a high level that to properly implement all of these different characters, you would need an entirely different set of textures for Gotham City and the Wayne Tower compared to Metropolis and Smallville. Each of those would have to stand out. Apocalypse, the Justice League, and that's too expensive. So if we go this way, it does that. If we go this way, it does that. You just have to hold it. The magical building ability that all LEGO minifigs have never gets explained. So it kind of confuses the whole question. Certainly when you get other magical abilities that only certain characters have. Somebody is making some kind of sound somewhere. Sounds like they're singing or something. Yeah, there's somebody's people are trapped behind the fire. Do I have anybody that can So even though we have like 4 characters, right now I think the only thing we can do is this, which I don't even know what we're targeting. Seems like your only option is that one thing. I guess there might be somebody trapped under there. It would almost make sense that there would be some citizens in need, civilians in need, like in the LEGO Marvel games, or Save Stan Lee. Like, noticeably no Save Stan Lee in this one. Let's see if we can swap. These are all broken, but they're not stopping Cyborg from actually walking there. So let's see what that does. breaks the car. So we have some Lego pieces to build something else, I guess. I feel like the lightning... Oh, these are all ninjas that are working on our side. Like the electricity here is stopping some people, just not cyborgs. Right. So he's telling the ninjas to make a ladder. It's very questionable how anybody would see that, though, and know that that was the goal. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing now. Possibly opening up this... Nope, I was not expecting that. I thought I was going to open up this bookcase on the other side. Really is just too many. Like way too many characters, way too many abilities. And really the game should just have a lot more filler in general. Entire levels where you are just walking from left to right for a few feet and fighting some people and breaking some stuff, but the stuff doesn't really matter and the fighting doesn't really matter. It just is giving you a way to play that ADD way that people would like to play. Little kids would love to play, as far as just running around and shooting things. It is so strange to have everything matter so much.
Wouldn't stick around here if I was you.
So we did save like 3 people. Shooting the electric thing doesn't do anything. Shooting that breaks that. Shooting that breaks that. But when you're in a vehicle, you're not automatically like getting the studs either.
Good work, everyone. Extra credit to you.
And then as soon as I jump out, I get a cutscene, which that really should probably be an in-game cutscene, not an end of the level cutscene, which is what it feels like.
Catman, nice to have you back. I'm guessing if Darkseid gets his hands on the rookie, it's bad, right?
That's an understatement.
We better do something about it then. Try to keep up.
So Steppenwolf was the one that grabbed her. I didn't see who it was on the rocket. And so now we have a more action chase sequence. I guess this is just jump rope and opportunities to get more studs and or fall to your death, whichever happens first. So probably pretty quickly you're going to realize that this trail car has like 50 tram cars on it, and it just is constantly adding more and more. And effectively it's the background that's actually moving, and everything else is just staying in place to give the appearance or feeling that you're on a rail car that's moving.
Who would lead this? Why?
little things you can kick and hit, but
Let me put you on a
not much. And see, this is very similar to the Marvel Avengers movie-related game, Lego game, where there was also railway sections. So he's got these bears.
Can perform some tricks for us, Batman.
Do not think that just because you have survived this long, you have any chance of winning.
Batman incredibly slow building, making the dog bone.
What happened?
I guess we're now while he's got this spinning around his head, we'll take some pot shots at him. I don't think we're gonna get enough studs, so we should probably just
Why should I have all the fun?
win.
My minions.
This is a fairly dark sequence compared to some of the other sections, but it is in Gotham, so it kind of makes sense.
Did you forget who you were up against?
Let's see. Maybe she can hit these guys a little bit better.
Time to rid myself of you.
Batman doesn't really have a throw a batarang button, it seems. I guess if I hold down X, it does. I'd forgotten about that. Yep.
I fight on behalf of the all-powerful dark side, while you merely represent the insignificant human race. There is no time to rid myself of you.
In reality, you should be playing the whole game as Mattress Malone instead of a custom character. Then you would be playing as Bruce Wayne / Batman in secret. Maybe that messes some things up a little bit.
To be challenged by the likes of you is a time to...
The fact that you can so easily just take damage and move on in this game is a good thing for Lego games, but it has gotten a little ridiculous in these, like, when you introduce fight sequences, because now it feels like there really should be some stakes and some challenge here, and there really isn't, because I can just die over and over again and lose a few studs.
I might be able to arrange a little backup of my own, using these extra parts.
Time to rid myself of you.
Would have made a lot more sense if Steppenwolf had been around since the halfway point in the game. I don't know what I'm supposed to be shooting at, per se. Seems like there might be some secret parts. Again, just smash the X button to defeat him.
Dark side.
You don't just have the anti-life equation. You are the anti-life equation.
He just teleported and boom tubed you into the air.
Luthor!
Luthor.
Seems I had a train to catch.
There is a major problem here, though, that you're unlocking free play, and I just really question how many people would want to play the game in free play. We're staying somewhat consistent. Like this last achievement I just got for beating this level was defeated by 29.4% of all Steam players who own this game. So the numbers haven't dropped down considerably far again, but the fact that they jumped to a very low number after the second or third level, or fourth or fifth level, was shocking, but no big surprise for how random those levels are. It definitely feels like there was two concepts here. One made by one team at the beginning of the game, which was just going to be random, run around the open world, play as villains, don't even worry about the story. And then there was a whole different team making a story on the back end of the game. And you can feel it in the story, you can feel it in how the levels connect.
Is that why Darkseid took my rookie?
Your rookie has the last piece of the anti-life equation.
If Darkseid gets the equation, it's lights out for the entire universe.
Not bad, Luthor. I couldn't have done better myself.
Well, while you were away, someone had to step in and take charge. Oh, I was on the brink of ridding this world of all criminals.
Yes, about that.
But who here can say if they had been in my place, they wouldn't have done the same? Not you. Them.
Yes, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
If Darkseid is back on Apocalypse,
It's funny how they lift their arms and you can see the stamp of the Lego. That's definitely not something you would have been able to see in the original Lego games. In the earlier Lego games.
Of course I can. We must act quickly and recover the rookie. Sending Apocalypse back won't do much good if Darkseid completes his anti-life equation.
True. I just hope we can reach them in time.
Yeah. They constantly add to the stories and the characters. So, Darkseid looking for the anti-life equation, I think, was a concept that was introduced a long time ago, and then they eventually introduced the idea of the anti-monitor, which I think also probably has something to do with the anti-life equation, and then they eventually introduce a character that is like an almost like a godlike character that is super powerful, that is hidden behind this thing called the Source Wall, which is this wall that was impenetrable at the center of the universe in every multiverse. And that character is like the Anti-Monitor's mother, effectively. And so there's been this long evolution around anti-life and anti-things. Here's a great example of what I was talking about, though, is that you stand right here, and that was the starting spot. And you just don't get a very impressive view of the Hall of Justice, when it should be a much more impressive view. And honestly, all you would have had to do is scale up everything so it took up the entire side of that wall, which would have made a lot of sense, and get rid of this arch, because that arch is in the way, and probably get rid of the monorail, because the monorail also is just in the way. And then you would have a much more impressive view of what it would look like, somewhat.
Darn that gopher! I do not need these holes in my park. You better watch out, Gregory. Once I figure out how to use this LexCorp lumberjack, you are in trouble. If only I had a lumberjack to fend off Gregory the gopher. Yep, I named him.
Yeah. We'll ignore that. So, we still have a decent amount of characters that we'd either need to find to unlock, which are the X's, or pay to unlock, like Shazam here with studs, and we'll do all of that at the very end. And inherently, every character that we unlock by purchasing will end up giving us another percentage point towards completion, which probably also highlights how the percentage of completion is so low in this game compared to what it probably should be. There's still abilities our rookie character doesn't have, but not a lot of them, and there's way too many abilities in general to cycle through. Most LEGO games don't even have to have a filter like this, although it would be helpful if they all did. Yep. The funny thing about LEGO games is that they're always experimenting, which always creates this situation where it feels like they go too far in one direction or not far enough in the other. Here we have Lex Luthor in the power suit. First appearing in Action Comics number 23, 1940. You can just see how many different abilities he has. But yeah, we're at 23.1% completion rate. As soon as we start to unlock characters, there's about 201, I guess, characters left to unlock. Very quickly you'll see the number go up by not 1 percentage point, but maybe 0.2, 0.3 percentage points for every character. And the rest of the collectibles are going to be relatively easy in comparison, unless they hide a lot of gold bricks in the open world, which that might take time, but it's all going to be fairly easy. If we bring up the map, we can see there is seemingly one more story thing, and maybe that unlocks some kind of Earth 3 or anti-Earth or something like that for 5 more levels. That would be weird if these are all separate versions of that. Honestly, I suspect the story is just going to end here, and then maybe we'll get some Earth 3 levels, post-credits to do, and then there's DLC levels. And then there's just going to be a ton of open world stuff to collect. And if anything, there is definitely an argument to try and find the red bricks in the open world first. If we can get even one stud multiplier as quickly as possible, that's the best bet before we do anything else. Maybe we'll run around and just like scan the Johnny DC things. We still have not gone to this area at all. But yeah, getting a stud multiplier by 2 will let us grow our studs. What we don't want to run into is a situation where we get the stud multipliers very late in the game and then I have to grind somewhere through levels to get enough studs. Although that's highly unlikely to actually happen. As far as Apocalypse and map points in the open world, we didn't do any of that at all. And we've done very little on Earth. Alright, well, that was another hour, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me or follow me on social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box also. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.